Hello and welcome to Mountain Moments with Judith Garten. This is the Prepper Portions. Today we are going to talk about something I mentioned in our toilet paper tube video. It is called squash socks. Now some of you may have heard me mention these before. I've mentioned them in videos as well as in blog articles. And I have discussed them before with friends on social media. So we are going to go through that now. We're just now getting deep into full-blown gardening season here at our elevation. Both the flower garden and vegetable garden are nearing the end of their spring plantings. We'll be planting extra cucumbers and also green beans soon to get an additional crop out of those. And things are really starting to take off. I still have a few vegetables and fruits that need to be direct seeded as well. I'm a little slow on that, but we are almost done. Right now, if you look outside in our vegetable garden, it is kind of comical. It actually looks like we are growing produce bags. It really does. For those of you who don't know, we are usually a bit behind the rest of you simply because of our elevation, and every spring I see your gardens already thriving. People are picking their zucchinis and their yellow squashes and their cucumbers before we've even got ours in the ground sometimes, but that's because of where we are. We have to wait a week or so, sometimes 2 weeks, after everyone else plants their gardens because we have frost warnings that can go into the first week of June sometimes. I actually got an alert the other day that there was a frost watch. It was an advisory. So I'm glad that that didn't happen, very glad, because we have so much in the ground. Now, most people use Mother's Day as their marker, but up here we have to go an extra week to 2 weeks. In fact, I have struggles purchasing plants sometimes online because people want to have everything shipped by Mother's Day. So I'm exploring options on that. But anyway, back to the squash socks. Now, like every other year, my impatience to put things in the ground can get the better of me, but finally we have the squash plants, cucumbers, the loofah even are in. As far as the seeds for the green beans this year, I decided to direct seed instead of starting them indoors for the first batch. Now, if you've seen my complaints on social media, you've seen me rant about plants being nipped off just after sprouting, often right at the ground. We have a vermin problem known as chipmunks. 2 years in a row, they have bitten off and taken all of my seedlings of green beans, and I've had to replant several times before I could get enough plants to get anything for us to eat. The other thing we have are slugs. They also have been known to nip off the plant and start noshing on it, leaving behind their trash. And it's very frustrating. So I prefer to deter as much as possible without using any form of chemicals or treatment or anything like that in the garden, even DE. Diatomaceous earth can be a great benefit, but it can also affect and kill some of the good bugs that we want in the garden. I will say that the method I use most often for deterring vine borers in any of the vines that we grow, it may not stop them completely, but it does at least deter them from setting in at the base of the plant and cutting off the main nutrition stem. And that is my squash socks. These are what they look like when I am done doing what I'm going to show you in a moment. They are small sections of mesh bag. Very simple. Simple to make. Throughout the year, you want to save all of your produce bags that are mesh, like this and like this. I get a lot of those throughout the year. And it is so simple to just take on the one with the little metal piece, you cut that off and throw it away. Then I take, and depending on the length of the bag, most of my bags are about the right length to cut into 3 sections. So you cut them into 3. One, whoops. Here we go. Simple as could be. And then what you do, and I'm going to show you this using one of our toilet paper tubes. You take your seed plug. It's got your roots and your seedling on the top, and you dig your hole in your garden soil, and you simply take your seedling and you place it in here. I usually only place it about a ½ inch to an inch below the soil surface, so I have a nice covering on the stem of the plant. And I will insert some photos that I've taken of how it looks in the garden on the plants, the seedlings themselves. This, I then, as the leaves come out the top, I try to tighten it just a little bit, just by pushing it tight, like so, around the stem. It stops the bug from getting in there and laying its eggs, so the vine borer won't destroy your plant. I love it, and I have to tell you that in the 3 or 4 years that I've been using squash stalks, I have only lost a plant to vine borers once or twice at the base. Any other ones I've lost have been around or along the vine, where I have not remembered to cover the vine with soil or protect it in some way from the vine borers. So this is my go-to. I did this with zucchini, yellow squash, cushaw, cucumbers. I even put little squash stalks into the hole for direct seeding our green beans to stop the chipmunks. And then I put the seeds in, covered them with soil, and they were ready to rock and roll as the green beans grew up. Love it. Love this. And it's free. It comes with your veggies. So save these, and all I do is I have a hook hanging on a shelf in one of our little closets, and I store them in a grocery bag. Simple as could be. You just take them and stick them in there, and they're ready for you in the spring when you need to put your seedlings in. So those are 2 of my helpful hints, your toilet paper tubes and your squash stalks. I love to use what we have around if we can, whenever we can. It gives you a way to help your environment by getting rid of and recycling things that you have. Oh, pointers. I almost forgot. This is very important. In the fall, I will warn you, after your growing season and you've harvested everything, pull these squash stalks up out of your garden and throw them away. They are made of a plastic that is supposed to break down over time. I don't know how long that time is, but they do not break down in my garden. I have just discovered some that were apparently buried from the first year that we used them. They are white, and I haven't used the white ones in a long time. I've used red and yellow, so the white ones have been in there a long time, and they are still not broken down. Are they fragile? Yes. Are they breaking? Yes, but they are not broken down. In addition to that, and so that would be 3 or 4 years old. In addition to that, if you use a cultivator or a tiller that has tines that rotate, I will tell you this will tie itself around your tiller tines like nobody's business. Yes, I speak from experience because that's how I found the squash stalks that were left over. So make sure you pull them out. You also don't want birds to get tangled up in these in your garden over the winter. So make sure you clean up after yourself, put them in the trash, put them in a bag, tie it up, throw it away. And I hope that these will help you also stop the vermin. We want to stop the vermin. There's plenty out there for them to eat. They don't need to be eating our food. And I hope this helps and helps you protect your garden as well as increase the garden production for your family. Blessings and shalom.